A new Christmas movie is around the block, or it's just joined a whole plethora of other ones. But we're going to talk today if it was any good at all, and that is Red One. Listen in today here on Two Geeks and a Microphone.
Hello there. So who talks first? You talk first. I talk first.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Two Geeks and a Microphone. I am your co-host, Mr. Stephen Buster, along with the one, the only, the most Christmassy, because he's wearing red today for Red One, Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom Land. I actually didn't even think about the fact that I'm wearing all red until we just started to get going. And when you said Red One, I was like, oh wait, yeah, I am wearing all red.
You are wearing all red.
Wasn't really planned, but it works out.
Well, hey, everybody, we're excited about today because we are going to talk about the movie Red One. Now, I know it's been out a couple of weeks, but Mike and I kind of saved it for our Thanksgiving movie weekend kind of a thing. So, Mike, I think you saw it Thursday? You saw it Thursday night? I saw it last night, and got home late. So I got some fun things to say about this movie. But anyway, awesome. Okay. Well, do you have anything on everybody? If you're joining us for the first time, we kind of do a couple of things. We have a section that we call Geeky News and a section we call Geekdar, and then we get to the main event. And our main event, so we're talking about the movie Red One, the one with Dwayne Johnson and Chris Evans, Captain America. Johnny Storm. Chris Evans, kind of a thing. So
wait a minute, isn't that like a spoiler for?
Yeah,
Deadpool.
Yeah, it's out of the theater now. So
okay.
So with that, Mike, do you have anything for Geeky News?
I have maybe one thing for Geeky News if you want to cover it. Here, we'll play the Geeky News and we'll do it.
Sure.
Okay. I don't know why it's not playing. What? Forget it. So the only Geeky News I have is our friends over at Rippaverse. They are doing a Black Friday sale this weekend, and I think it's all the way through Monday. So if you're listening to this, chances are you're probably listening to it after the sale is over. This will get released on Monday at midnight, or Sunday at midnight, going into Monday morning, however you want to put that. So if you're listening early on Monday, the sale's probably still up. If you're not, it's over. But he's got a lot of stuff on sale. You can get some of the past issues. You can get some posters, t-shirts, so on and so forth. I've gotten all of my t-shirts on sale. So the statue's not on sale though.
Statue is not on sale. It's
Steven just pulled up the website and it went right to the Isom statue, which is a beautiful statue, by the way.
Right. See what's on the mega sale real quick. Sorry, I thought I had it up. I had the
there we go. So it looks like I think that's a
posters. The Yaira covers, so you can get different Yaira Isom cover, Isom D, which is my favorite.
Yep, that's my favorite too.
It's a good point to get in here. Collection items. Looks like they've got Yaira poster for $2. What? That's a neat poster.
Yeah, that's a great deal. That was a great deal.
Yeah.
So you can get several posters. There's some of the t-shirts right there. You get kind of the Rippaverse universe. You got Isom, Yaira. That's the Yaira shirt I have.
I should make that. That's probably really small on people's phones. Sorry, everybody.
But just go to rippaverse.com and check out their sale. So that's really the only thing I have for geeky news right now.
Okay.
Everything else is still just kind of rumor stuff and
Right.
nothing that I'm seeing that's just really worthy of the news as far as I'm concerned. So
Gotcha. Okay.
All right.
Well, cool beans.
Here, let's see if we can do the Geekdar bumper.
Without repeating it, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Control with the radar, sir.
What's wrong with it?
I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps.
The what? The what? And the what?
You know, the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
Hey, that one actually worked. Myself. Maybe I am learning this stuff. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So I have one Geekdar.
Okay.
And it is our friend Tom Hutchinson again.
Yes.
I got book number 2 of the Legend of Oz, The Wicked West.
Nice.
Finished book 1. I really enjoyed book 1, so I went ahead and ordered book 2. And I believe Brenda has started reading book 1, so
Oh, okay.
what she thinks, because she's the big Wizard of Oz fan. But yeah, it's been a really good story. I love his take on the Wizard of Oz universe. It's really neat. It's interesting. It's something I've never seen before, and I just love the whole Wild West aspect of it. I think it's a great concept. So check out Big Dog Inc. and check out the Legend of Oz: The Wicked West, and he's got other stuff there too. So
Yeah. And when we say Big Dog Inc., it's Big Dog INK. So
Yes.
Big Dog Inc. And all.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
guys, if you haven't seen that show, check it out. That was we were slated for an hour, and I think we went 2 hours with him. He was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we went over Invincible season 1. And we're going to have him back for Invincible season 2 sometime in January. We haven't decided on a date on that one yet, and
Yeah.
we might get him back for some other stuff too. He's open to geeking out about anything. Tom was a lot of fun, and I look forward to getting him back. Of course, we got a big crossover coming in January. We should probably talk about that a minute. Maybe that should have been geeky news. First time ever, we are going to cross over with both Nerdery and Murdery and the Three Geeky Dads, and we are going to be discussing the 1980s television series V.
Yes.
Beautiful
yes.
80s goodness, I gotta say.
When did we say we were doing that show?
Well, we said January. We haven't committed to a date yet.
Okay.
So we'll keep everyone informed on exactly when we're doing that coming up.
Okay. Yes.
We should probably start discussing dates with them.
Probably should. Yes. See how all that goes.
Absolutely. I have started watching them.
Oh, good. I have not yet. I got to though.
Yeah. Well, I've only watched the first miniseries. That's all I've watched, but I'm very happy to revisit it, I have to say.
Nice.
Just great 80s goodness. Oh, you know what? I had fun this morning. I was perusing YouTube, and I came across, there's a guy I've been watching off and on lately. He calls himself the something Gen Xer, adult Gen Xer or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, and he does everything like 80s video games and stuff like that. Atari, Nintendo, Commodore 64. You know. Oh yeah. And he was showing this morning in his latest video, he was showing a, what do they call it? The Pocket Arcade, and it's the Atari 2600 system. And his first thought was, yeah, I already got this. I don't need this. And then he saw they advertised the same system but in wood grain, and it was limited to 2600 units. So, being the Atari 2600, I thought that was pretty clever merchandising. The device looks really nice, and it's cool because the device in the front, it kind of looks sort of like a Game Boy in a way, but then it's
Oh,
got this wood grain, finish to the front of it, and nice 2.5-inch display. So it's about the same size of a classic Game Boy. But you turn it over, and when you turn it over, the buttons for shooting and everything, they look like they're orange, just like the original Atari joystick buttons and stuff. And he said they feel a lot like those buttons too. So I was like, well, they did a great job of kind of recreating the classic Atari feel. So I thought it was neat. Unfortunately, it was limited edition. I don't think you can get it anymore. You can get the basic one, which is black and red, and it's okay, but I like the wood grain. I would love to get one of those wood grain ones. So if anyone's looking for a Christmas present for me and they can find that,
real quick,
classic Atari.
That's funny. That's pretty cool. Real quick, couple quick shout outs. Sage Page in the house. Sage Page.
Morning, Sage.
And also, Brandon is here with us. Hey, Brandon.
Oh, hey, yeah, Brandon. We had Brandon on last month, I think it was.
Yeah, that was great.
He has his comic book. What was his comic book? It's the zombie.
See,
one.
we're getting old, Brandon. We're so
I
sorry.
know, I don't. I'm not doing that on purpose. But it was the zombie one. So, yeah, check out that episode too. That was a lot of fun. Brandon was a cool guy. I liked him. We'll have to have him back on sometime soon too. So
yes,
yeah, Brandon, you just have to tell us what you want to discuss. All right, you got anything for Geekdar, Steven?
No, I live a boring life, so
I don't think it's a boring life. I think it's a busy life that you live. It's not so much boring; it's busy. So we'll go with a different B word. How's that?
That sounds good. That sounds good. I appreciate that. That's funny. So we ready for the main event then?
I think so.
Let's do it. It's time for the main event.
All righty.
And everybody, we're
Red
one, which I thought was kind of fun because what's the where else did we get that from? Air Force One that's where I got that. That was thinking, oh, Air Force One. Now I got Red One. Or
I was kind of thinking Red 5. Red 5 standing by. That's Luke Skywalker. Red 5 was his X-Wing identity when in the original Star Wars film, Star Wars: A New Hope. So yeah, I went and seen Red 1 on Thursday on Thanksgiving. We have a tradition that we try and go see a movie on Thanksgiving night. We'd prefer it to be a Christmassy movie. Sometimes that works out, sometimes it doesn't.
okay.
I don't think last year I don't think there was anything good that came out of Thanksgiving. So we forwent it. I don't know how I would say that. We didn't do it. I don't think we went to the movies, Megan. Megan's got this look on her face right now, like we went to the movies, but I don't think we did.
I don't know. Last year I was focused on my trip in December.
This is true. Yeah. But yeah, so we saw Red 1 was coming out. All three of us wanted to see it. I am a fan of Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I like most of his movies. I think he's fun. He's a good actor, in my opinion. I enjoy him. And then, of course, we had J.K. Simmons, who is always great in just about everything I've ever seen him in. And then we had Chris Evans, which was a nice little plus. So
yes,
kind of a roundabout geek fest, and throughout DC and Marvel, and it wasn't a DC or a Marvel film. So
Yes. Yes. It crossed the streams with different characters who have played in different comic book movies.
although I wanted just once, I wanted JK to go just once somehow, if they could have fit it in. Maybe like you have that point where he's kind of knocked out. I won't tell exactly what was happening, but he's kind of knocked out. And I told Megan, I said it would have been cool if he would have came to and went, "That Spider-Man is a menace."
Yeah.
Oh, what am I saying?
Right. I was thinking of all the movies I've seen him in, kind of a thing. So yeah, so that's funny. That's funny. What he's referencing is the actor who played Santa Claus was J.K. Simmons, and we've seen him as,
James Jonah
Jameson and the Spider-Man movies. He's been he was in Whiplash, which I haven't seen, which I heard was just a phenomenal film. He played a teacher, like a drum teacher.
He played Commissioner Gordon in the Justice League.
Yes,
and I liked him as Commissioner Gordon. He did a good job. And then, of course, he's the voice of Omni-Man in Invincible.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah. That was
I am a big fan of his.
Yeah.
He's good. He's good.
All I gotta say is Santa was jacked.
Yeah, this is probably the most fit Santa Claus I have ever seen.
Yeah.
And I was not angry. I wasn't upset
either. I wasn't upset either. It was funny. Kelly leans over and goes, "Santa's not fat." I know, he's fit.
Not at all. But he still ate his cookies too.
He still ate his cookies, except for macaroons.
Yeah, he didn't like macaroons. I guess him and Grogu they couldn't share cookies because Grogu likes the macaroons. So
yeah, it was pretty funny.
Remember that episode where he's in the school and he's stealing the macaroons from the other kid?
Yep.
Great. I love that. So Santa would just give Grogu all the macaroons. Here, you can have them. Here, take those, kid. Frog, whatever you are.
Yep. Well, if we were given a premise of the film, what would you say if we were to give our synopsis of the film before we give our score and review, or review and score?
So in this film, we meet Santa Claus. Like Steven said, he is a little bit different Santa Claus than we've ever met. He's a fit Santa Claus. He's weightlifting, and I don't know if that's the Rock's influence on him, or I don't know what. But yeah, he's a very fit Santa Claus. Man, you got the Rock, who I don't ever remember seeing. Well, okay, in the Santa Claus with Tim Allen, we kind of had protection over Santa Claus. The Elf, they had their version of Elf too, which I can't remember what the acronym was in the Santa Claus with Tim Allen, but they kind of kept an eye on Santa, but it didn't feel like the security that this one felt like. This felt like more like watching over the president. I mean, yes. he even had a presidential motorcade,
right?
Which I thought was hilarious. I was like, "Holy crap, he's got a presidential motorcade!" And then, of course, he's using military bases to fly out of and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that." So you had a lot of different premises with this Santa Claus. It was a neat take. I liked the take on this one. It was different. It was a lot different than anything I've ever remembered seeing. And I liked all the actors involved. Overall, I thought this was a fun. It's a fun family film. You had the family aspect to it. You had some action adventure to it, and then I always like a good Santa Claus story. If it's a good Santa Claus story, chances are I'm going to enjoy it. I enjoyed this film.
Okay.
Thought it was fun. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, so so what happens in the movie, real quick, just the synopsis is Santa gets kidnapped. And so the special ops, like you were saying, which I thought was really good, was the, like they're trying to protect the president, and so all of a sudden the not Secret Service, but the elf. And I
Right.
don't remember it. They had so many acronyms in this film. If we did a drinking game out of them, we'd be dead.
But that's another good comparison to the military, because the military has acronyms for everything.
Right. And so it was very militaristic and stuff. And the action was really good in it. I enjoyed it, like there at the beginning. So when he gets kidnapped and how does he get kidnapped and what happens and all this stuff. And then, there's different characters that are brought up that I was shocked to see that came in. So as they're trying to find, it's a search and rescue film.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want to say buddy cop because it really wasn't a buddy cop kind of a thing, but sort of. But they're on this journey to try to find. So The Rock and then Chris Evans, who starts off out really, who's on the naughty list. So that, kind of a thing, and he's
what a class. What was it?
Class 4
naughty lister or something.
Yeah. Yeah, then they corrected at one point saying, no, that's level 4.
Level.
Or no, they went, or it was level 4, but then said, no, it's class 4. I don't remember the switch, but they said both. It was funny. And then, so it's the whole hijinks of what happens and where they go. And they brought up some really cool lore for more Christmas lore.
Yes.
Like the backroom supply closets to all the toy stores are interconnected. They're like magical doors. Kind of like the whole Harry Potter, Diagon Alley, diagonally. So for those
flu system.
Yes. So it was kind of a network. That was cool. And then you find out who the big villain is. You think it may be one, but it's not. They introduce another one, and which was really cool. I enjoyed those. And then and it had a decent ending. It was quick. It ended quickly, and I was like, oh.
I don't even know what the runtime on this one was.
I think it was only like an hour and a half, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think it was a full 2 hours,
Mm-hmm.
which is not a bad
I could
thing.
be wrong. No, it
2
wasn't
hours
bad.
and 3 minutes.
What was it?
2 hours and 3 minutes.
Wow, I didn't even think it hit 2 hours. See, it didn't feel like 2 hours, actually.
It did not feel like 2. It did not feel like 2 hours.
This movie flows. It actually moves. So,
yep.
Nobody for anybody. Hey, thanks for joining us.
I have the
Yeah.
acronyms, by the way.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
All right. Let's bring
What was-
Megan in.
What was the ELF?
So the one for red one is enforcement, logistics, and fortification.
Okay,
Oh.
yes.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
And then what I found for the Santa Claus was effective liberating flight squad. Because I know that flight. I think that is right because I know flight was important.
Yeah, flight.
That
was
was for the movie The Santa Claus.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what she was saying.
The-
Yeah.
Gotcha. Took me a second. Sorry, I'm getting
Because
off.
I brought that up when I was talking earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dad
And
wanted the acronym for both.
and I love how Red One is, like they always give the president a code name. I have no idea. I used to know a few of the president's code names, but I don't remember it now. But so Red One was kind of their code name for Santa. And I thought that was pretty cool. It's just another, thing kind of connecting it to like a presidential type thing, which I thought was great. I enjoyed that. And I loved the whole idea of the broom closets in the toy stores being portals. That was a great idea. They did good with that one.
Yes, agreed. That was my point. Yep. So then, so I actually enjoyed it, but there are some things I have to do with my score. So do you want to say which what our scoring is going to be?
Do you want to go snow globes?
We can go snow globes,
Did you?
or
have
we
something
could Klamperschlaps.
Oh, okay. I'm good with that too. I like it. All right, go ahead. Give your score.
Okay. Okay. So it was really funny. So I went and saw it with my wife Kelly and my son Jack and my stepson Troy, and so Troy fell asleep in the movie. So that's
Really?
-1. Kelly
Wow.
fell asleep near the end too as well, but it was pretty late though. I mean, and so I was like, well, okay, that's 2 points. I thought the middle of it was kind of a little slow in setting up some things. I was like, okay, let's move it along, Give me some action. I need some action. Oh yay, snowman! So it was, I enjoyed the action parts of it. So, but other than that, yeah. So I give it a good solid 7 out of 10. Krampusschlaps.
Nice.
My favorite was I was going to give it a 6 out of 10, but when we got to the whole Krampus section, I loved it. I love the whole Krampus stuff. I really enjoy.
The Krampus stuff was fantastic.
Yes.
Megan, you want to go?
Oh, sure. Sorry, I'm also typing. I was gonna look up Christmas.
You're going to look up what?
I was gonna look up something. I really, really liked it. Going into it, I didn't really know. I thought it kind of looked silly, which I mean, it had an element too. But I actually really, really enjoyed it. Don't have much to say, but I'd probably give it a 9.
9. Wow.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. All right. Again, I thought it was a good family movie, which that's a plus for me. I like The Rock. I like pretty much all the actors that were in it. Those are pluses for me. I love the fact that they brought in Krampus and they gave a little different backstory, at least that I know of Krampus, and I liked it. I thought that was some pretty neat lore for this movie. Loved the broom closet idea. Thought that was fantastic, and I like the whole toy, like making the Hot Wheels cars real. I thought that was a lot of fun and
Yes.
inventive. So a lot of cool new things for the Santa Claus lore in this. I would have to give this a 8 out of 10.
Okay.
How do I say it?
Krampus.
Krampus. Yes, I will go with an 8.
All right. I'm typing those in for the chats for everybody. Real quick, a couple shout outs. Oops, wrong one, because he was talking about different ones. But he says, hello, Castelar Daniel Garcia.
Hello.
And then Sam is in the house. Hello, Sam.
Good day, Sam.
Our friend from
Down Under.
Australia. Okay, cool. Right on. And so then, okay, so are we getting ready to go to spoilerific territory?
Let me tell you a real quick story. So, I try to watch as much of the Cowboys game on Thanksgiving as I can. And so I was watching a little bit of it. And, Jeff from Nerdery and Murdery, he and I, quote unquote, watch the Cowboys games together, meaning we get on Facebook Messenger and we message back and forth and either talk trash about the Cowboys or talk good about them, depending on what they're doing. So I told Jeff, I was like, all right, watching it on my phone right now, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, all right, we're heading back home for a little bit. And then we're heading to go see the movie. And he goes, what movie are you seeing? I said, Red One. And he's like, cool, you're going to have to let me know. I said, well, we're talking about it on the podcast Saturday. He says, well, I know you said you're talking about it, but I'm special. I said, you're special. All right, Jeff. But I did message him after the movie, and I said I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good film. So
nice.
So now we can move into spoilerific territory now.
Spoilerific territory. Okay, everybody, this is the part where we talk about spoilers in the film and have a discussion about it. So if you have not seen it and you want to watch it, this would be a good time just to come back and watch the rest of our show. So we are hitting spoilerific not territory, but territory. I was misspelling. I probably misspelled this anyway. So, but whatever. Spoilerific territory. Okay, everybody.
Help me remember. in the lore of Krampus, was he Krampus's Santa? Was he Santa's brother?
Um, I don't. I think that is a take. Um, but I don't know if it's one I've necessarily
Okay.
heard before.
Right on.
Most of the time, Krampus is just kind of like the evil counterpart, or even like Santa's shadow.
Yeah,
Since he's
I
a
remember that in the lore. He's Santa's shadow. Um, but I like the take of him being
kind of like an
actually,
adopted brother.
yeah.
Yeah, I do
I
like
thought that
that.
was interesting. So that's a major spoiler here because you did not see Krampus in any of the ads. We did see the snowman in the ads. We saw the car, being enlarged into the Corvette being, which I loved. I loved the fact that Chris Evans picks out a Corvette
Yeah.
and Dwayne Johnson's like, I told you to get something practical. He's like, who cares? It's a Hot Wheels. I don't. He didn't understand what was going to happen, and then he makes it big. And then in the commercial, they cut straight to the other scene, but that scene actually comes a little later when they're running through a toy store, and Chris Evans stops by one of the clerks and goes, "Hey, you got a Wonder Woman action figure here?" It doesn't work like that.
Right.
Well, it looked like it worked like that.
Yeah, he said it twice and all. So,
I thought that was fun.
gosh.
I love that. That was great. But yeah, I love this take on Krampus and him being Santa's brother. I thought it was an interesting take, and I liked the lore of Krampus wanting to keep the naughty list and everything, and that's what gave the divide between the two of them, because Santa Claus didn't like the idea of actually keeping a list of naughty children. And
Hmm. That
I
was a
thought,
unique take on the lore. Yes.
yeah, yeah, that was interesting. So
Yeah. Yes. I enjoyed that. My favorite part of the whole movie, so I'll just go with that, was the whole Krampus stuff. I was like, oh, we get Krampus, and I like the aspect, it's his brother, which I thought was unique, and that he wanted the naughty, like we were saying. I like that. And then what was the whole, when the whole Krampus schlop thing was cracking me up.
it was so funny, man.
Yeah. So for everybody, it's kind of like they're doing that whole, the whole slapping contest kind of a thing. And so here's Krampus, who's just ginormous and huge. And this one guy comes up and he goes to, he's first. And so he slaps Krampus, and then he doesn't move at all. And then here comes this gigantic hand that's bigger than this character's head. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'd faint. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna make it, kind of a thing.
Well, his hand was bigger than the Rock's head too.
Right? It was. I was just like, oh my goodness. Yeah, the Rock gets, for everybody, I'm gonna share the story because then Chris Evans, convinces, says, kind of does some betting and says the Rock can take you, not the Rock, but his character, but he can take you, on this to do the slap. And so he hits Krampus. Now Krampus does move like he got hit. So his head goes and he goes, oh, very interesting,
Right.
kind of a thing. But then here comes this big old hand down again. I'm like, oh, and I thought The Rock acted it great because it was,
because he gave Chris Evans this look like, what the hell did you just do to me?
right.
And I mean, The Rock is a big dude. You don't expect him to be in the role of, well, the
little one, the
little
little,
one. And
Mhm.
so that was fun. I enjoyed that. In fact, I remember watching it and I kept thinking, Steven always likes to ask, so what was your favorite part? And I was like,
Yeah.
I know my favorite part in this one. I don't always know what my favorite part is going to be. And sometimes that strikes me. I'm like, oh man, I don't know what my favorite part is because there's so much I liked. Well, again, there was a lot that I liked about this, But I could easily define my favorite part in this as the Krampus portion of the film. I thought it was
Yes.
fantastic.
Yeah, it was good. And yeah, and then when he takes that first slap from Krampus, it is like boom, the rock is bopped down on the ground pretty hard. And then there was the whole thing where it was a great how they used that to escape, to get away from Krampus and then get back to where they needed to be and stuff. But that whole section was my favorite part. I really enjoyed it. There's other fun parts, but that was really good.
Now, the Krampus thing, it started to come up, and Megan left and went to the restroom. And I know Krampus is one of her favorite lores. And both, as soon as she comes back, Brenda's sitting on the other side of me, and she's nudging me. She's like, "Did you tell her yet? Did you tell her yet?"
Yeah. I have to admit that it's Kelly is the one who always, once we always finish a movie, she always asks of everybody, what's your favorite part? What's your favorite part? So that's where that comes from. I'm constantly doing it because she's
It's
always
not
like,
a problem. It's just sometimes I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I really don't know. And this one, as soon as it hit, I was like, oh, I know what I'm going to say to Steven.
yeah, this is my favorite part. And what else did you like about the movie then?
Oh, that's it. No, like I said, there was several things I enjoyed. I liked the whole the presidential aspect. I loved the take on Santa being fit, and I loved it when he's lifting weights. And he's like, "Spot me," and he goes, "Let's go heavy." And I'm sitting there looking at the weights, going, "That's not heavy already."
Right.
I absolutely loved that. And the witch. Okay, that's one thing I wanted to ask you. Did you realize who the big baddie was? Because I had no idea. I had no clue.
What do you mean?
Well, they kind of alluded to who it was, and at first I thought it was going to be Krampus,
Mhm.
and then you find out, well, no, Krampus isn't. He's just kind of a means to get to it. But my thought was, when they alluded to it, I was thinking it's Mother Nature, because I'm like, you're going with these different mythological characters,
Right.
but they actually went with what, a Greek.
She's actually Icelandic.
I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, in Icelandic
I already have it pulled up.
folklore, yeah, Grilla is a Christmas witch and ogress, who punishes children who misbehave. Hideous, greedy, troll-like crone with a horned tail. She can detect misbehaving children year-round by listening to their whispers in the wind. They played that well.
She's very similar to Krampus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the concept in the movie that both of them were about punishing the wicked, or the
Right.
misbehaving, or the naughty kids and stuff like that.
But she took it even further than what Krampus did.
I thought she was doing the Krampus thing. When they did the snow globe thing, that reminded me of the horror movie that we watched last year, the Krampus.
Right.
Which that is his lore. The snow globes are a part of his lore.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think they kind of took his lore and kind of applied it to her.
But they did say in the movie that she had gifted him the snow globe, and then she had taken it back because she had this plan.
So it's almost like she had the idea first. He used it, but then,
or she had the power to make it.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
But I did like the introduction to Grilla. I had no idea of a Christmas witch, to be open with you. I didn't either.
Well, it took me back to not The Hobbit. Yeah, C.S. Lewis.
Um,
Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe.
Yes, thank you. Because
The Ice Queen.
Yeah, the Ice Queen. Okay, yeah, that's what it kind of took me back to. I was kind of comparing her to the Ice Queen of that story.
She probably was influenced partially by the Christmas Witch. I would say probably between the Christmas Witch and the Snow Queen.
Oh, you mean Gryla?
No, I mean like the witch from
Lion.
Lion Witch in the Wardrobe.
Okay.
I think she was influenced both by Grilla, who is the Christmas witch, and the Snow Queen.
That makes sense.
I would agree with that. Yeah, because I remember C.S. Lewis, or I remember Tolkien got mad at C.S. Lewis for mixing mythologies, kind of a thing, which is kind of interesting, and because they were friends, and so,
Right.
but that would make sense that I bet you C.S. Lewis did get. It's possible. Boy, that'd be kind of cool to confirm that. But why he used is it Gryla or Grilla?
Good question.
I think they said it.
You
Grilla.
say Gryla, I say
I don't know the Y
Grilla.
accented.
I thought they said Grilla. I thought.
Yeah,
Oh,
Grylla's
wait.
fine.
I thought it was interesting that she could hear
When they say
when
her
they
name.
say it.
I
you
like
know,
that.
and that's almost like the Santa Claus lore. You know, he sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. And with her, well, as soon as you say her name, then she can see you.
So we actually have seen a version of the Christmas Witch recently in the series, the Santa Clauses.
Oh.
But they went by the other name, La Befana,
Okay.
where that one
I don't
is an
remember.
adaptation where she's more like Santa, where she both gives gifts and punishes.
Okay. Okay. I think I like this version better though.
It was good. It was neat. You know, I thought it was funny how they did the whole shape shifting thing and stuff like that, and then they where her true form comes out at the end, which I thought was good. That was really good.
And then Krampus shows up and he's like, let me handle this. She's my ex. you guys don't know how to handle a real woman.
Right? Yeah, it was pretty funny. His character I really enjoyed.
I did too. It kind of, in a way, in a weird, kind of wicked sense of way, it kind of made Krampus a little bit likable. You know,
Yeah.
he was more of a likable character than his lore is.
Yeah.
In a way.
I'm looking at I'm trying to see who played who. I don't know who some of these
I
actors
have
are.
no idea who played Krampus.
Christopher, it's Fer. Hivju was his name. Oh, I know who he is.
Okay.
If you've seen, he's a Norwegian actor, and if you've seen Game of Thrones, he's the big guy with the red beard. He Tormund. He played Tormund, and so he was part of the people from the north that were north of the wall, kind of a thing, and stuff like that. I really liked him in Game of Thrones. He was a fun character in Game of Thrones. So
Yeah,
that's who that was.
Never watched Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I didn't have HBO when Game of Thrones was active and everyone was watching it. So
I didn't either. I watched it after. Well, I watched it between the next to last season and the last season because we had friends that were wanting to watch it. And they invited us over and we're like, oh yeah, we started watching it and like, oh man, we got to go back and catch up, on all these seasons. And then we watched season 6 together, and then with our friends, just a whole bunch of friends got together, and then like neighbors and stuff. And then we watched 7 together, and that was an interesting dynamic. So for those who've seen Game of Thrones, you know what I'm talking about, how you go from season 6 and then you went to season 7 kind of a thing. So it was.
Is that where the red wedding happens?
No. But hey, side note. So in catching up and watching them, I already knew about the red wedding, but Kelly did not. And so I actually videotaped her watching the parts of the red wedding. And I got her reaction and stuff like that. It's hard to see it because it was real dark. It was real late, but yeah, it was funny. So anyway, that's a whole nother subject, everybody. We could do a whole Game of Thrones episode.
Megan's going to check on our dog. She's freaking out. I don't know what the heck's going on. Anyway, but yeah, I've never watched Game of Thrones, so I have no idea. I might like Game of Thrones. I don't know.
First season was good. There was each season I thought got better. Like they got rid of the there was just more story in the as it continued rather than just the gimmicky, oh, let's add sex, nudity, and violence kind of a thing. It set it up, but then that got toned down as it continued, and I really liked the story, and then 7 was an interesting thing. Roger, can you smell what the Krampus is cooking?
Although The Rock wasn't Krampus, so I thought that was a funny statement, though. I like that.
Agreed.
Yeah. Other than that, did anything else really, really stand out? I can't think.
Special effects I thought were really good until the final sequence with Grilla. You could tell it was computer animation, which is fine.
Yeah, that probably was the worst part of the effects. I have to agree. It didn't bother me too much, just because it was a pretty quick fight. It didn't last too long.
Yeah, it was quick. Yeah,
I mean, if it would have been, it looked better than the first thing The Rock was ever in. Do you know what his first movie was? His first big movie was The Mummy, and he played,
the Scorpion King.
The Scorpion King, and it was like his face CG on.
It was really bad. Yeah,
it was horrible. It was so bad.
Yeah,
and I know the CG at the time wasn't up to near what it is today, but at the same time, I don't even think it was as good as what we had back then. That was horrible.
That's true. That's true.
So I'll put it higher than that at least.
There you go. What did you think of the reindeer? I liked the new lore they added with the reindeer and that one, they were huge. They were ginormous. And then they had a full rack of antlers. All of them did. So they looked really super majestic. But then when they really started getting up to speed and stuff, that the antlers were glowing different colors. And then how he broke not just the sound barrier, but the light barrier, kind of a thing.
Now, my only disappointment with the reindeers is they went away from the traditional, Donner Blitzen, and it was all female, which I was like, I thought was weird because I'm like, well, wait a minute, they all have antlers, and
I will fight you because I love this lore.
Okay, go ahead. You got to come in if you're going to do this. All right,
fight. Okay,
so deer, when they have antlers, they're male. When they don't have antlers, they're female. Okay.
However, reindeer are very real animals, just like a narwhal is a real animal.
Listen to her get upset, Stephen.
We haven't said nothing about a narwhal, but keep going about the reindeer.
Reindeer are real animals. Both the male and female have.
Wait a minute. Did you just say a narwhal is real?
Narwhal. Yes, they are. They are not mythical creatures.
A whale with a horn?
Yes.
Okay.
They are real.
In your imagination.
Okay, let's get back to the reindeer. Reindeer.
Both male and female reindeers have horns or antlers.
Antlers.
You said horn and it got me thrown off. But the males for reindeer are actually the ones that shed their antlers, which would be in the winter.
Okay.
The females don't shed their antlers. So therefore,
they do. I'm reading a thing right now because Google actually, I said, do female reindeer, and then it auto-populated have antlers. Kind of a thing.
I bet everyone after this movie
asking.
Yeah.
Right. And It says that both male and female reindeer shed their antlers each year. Male reindeer typically lose their antlers between November and early January, while female reindeer keep their antlers until spring.
They don't shed them at the same time.
Apparently,
Yeah,
your
that's-
uncle's on your side, Megan.
Right.
So therefore, the males are the ones that shed during the winter.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, sure.
Hormones, testosterone, and other hormones control antler growth and shedding. If a male reindeer is castrated, it will continue to grow antlers, but will not shed them.
Interesting. Weird.
That's the next horror movie. They castrate one of the reindeer,
and he's pissed off.
He's mad, and he does. His antlers keep growing and growing, and so he just bides his time until it's time to take out Santa Claus for castrating him.
Oh wow!
Just saying.
I think we just got the premise of a Two Geeks Christmas story. Could be something we could play with the AI too.
Call it Christmas Antlers, the horror story.
All right, I'll call.
He takes out Rudolph, cuts off his nose with the antlers. Dadgum, your red nose.
I'll call Uncle, but I will remind you, Abraham Lincoln said not to believe everything you read on the internet. So
I'll go with that.
I'll call Uncle on this. All right, sure, okay. I did get a kick out of though when Santa comes in and he's talking to the reindeer, and he's like, "What's got you all excited?" And then all of a sudden, the Rock comes in. He goes, "Oh,
your boyfriend's here."
Oh, I see, because your boyfriend's here.
That was good. All right. Well, anything else?
There's one thing I'm looking up.
Yes.
Because I know you were gonna.
I just thought of something else that I really liked that was different about the Santa Claus lore in this that I really enjoyed, and it was the presents and how he gets into each of the houses, and how like in the Santa Claus with Tim Allen, just like when his son, I can't think of his son's name. Anyway, when he's describing it, I don't know, it's kind of like Santa Claus turns into this like goo and he slips down the chimney. Well, no, in this he shrinks down like the size of Adam from DC Comics. And I thought that was great lore. I'm like, ooh,
yeah,
this is probably the best description of how Santa Claus gets into each of the houses. And then boom, he grows normal size, puts down the presents, grows back, and he's doing this all super fast too, and I was like, this is really cool. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a great addition to the Santa Claus lore. So that was another thing that stood out. What were you gonna say, Megan? Sorry.
I thought you were gonna ask about what he was yelling at the reindeer.
Oh yeah. I could not understand what he was
I couldn't
yelling
either.
So did you find it?
So it's Kavalame.
Okay. And do
the
you got a definition?
Closest thing that I can find is gallop to me. So he's basically saying
ho, or
yeah, it's just kind of his
giddy up.
Yeah, giddy up word.
Right. Okay.
Huh.
All right. Yeah, he'd say that, and I was like, "What did he say?" And then all of us are like, "We need subtitles at the movie theater."
Yeah. Ooh, here it is at autopopulate. What did Santa say in Red 1? What does
that's another question.
Kavalame, which supposedly means gallop to me or something similar.
Interesting. Okay. So yeah, it's kind of like his giddy up, or
Yeah. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. It's even a Reddit post. It's even, holy cow, everyone's asking, what in the world did Santa say?
So overall, I enjoyed this movie. So now I have to ask you, Stephen.
Yes, ask away.
This is something the three geeky dads do after a seasonal movie like this. Is this movie something you would watch every year?
You mean amongst Christmas movies and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I-
Would this make your yearly playlist?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Yeah, it may be. It's a maybe. It's a maybe. Man, I'm trying to. That's
Roger's
well, you know,
naming
we
all-
remember 2 years ago we did Violent Night, or was that last year? Was that last year we did Violent Night, or year before?
Yes, and I want to watch or I think it was the year
Yeah.
before we did. I think it came out the year
It,
before.
yeah. So that one was good. I enjoyed Violent Night, and that's on my list because I'll watch it again this year.
Yep, me too.
Would it be? It was fun. I did enjoy it. Chances are I would watch it again next year. Yes.
Megan?
I definitely want to watch it again, and I would watch it every year.
I want to watch it again. And yes, I think this will make the yearly, because like I said, I love the addition to the lore to this one. So I think this makes the yearly list, along with my other Christmas movies such as National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which is my
Right on.
all-time favorite Christmas movie, which Megan and I watched last night. It kicks off our Christmas season. Brenda does
Nice.
not watch it because she hates it.
Good for you, Brenda. I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
kiss my ass, kiss his ass, kiss your ass.
Happy
Happy Hanukkah.
Oh gosh.
I wished I had him right here with a big red bow. Oh, I can't do that whole spiel. I wished I could. I can't remember that whole one. But it's the best line in the whole movie. So good. No good, rotten four flesh.
Right.
Oh, I love that movie. So yeah, it would go along with that, and also it would go along with Batman Returns, which is a Christmas movie. Fight me.
Right.
I will be watching that over the next couple weeks too.
Yep. Well, are we ready to wrap up? Do I need to talk about our affiliate here?
Yeah. I'm not drinking Glitch this morning because this morning I'm drinking iced coffee. But I do have the Glitch shaker for visual representation.
Right. So everybody, we are. Oops, that's the wrong one. That's not the right one. Where's it at? Where'd it go? You had it
You
up
can show
earlier.
our Ko-fi page though.
There it is. I'll do it in a second. So everybody, we are affiliates with Glitch energy drinks, and real quick, I want to show you. I'm going to share the screen with you real quick. Right now, they are doing a really good deal, and it's crazy. Whoa, their mic is really super big.
You could almost see the hairs in my nose.
Right. Oops. There we go. So on Glitch, you guys, right now, if you just do your first order, you'll get 15% off, which is actually nice. Right now, they're doing a Black Friday deal when you could get 50% off.
Nice.
Because it's Black Friday. So it's Black Friday. So if you're listening to this, it may be over once we get the podcast up. But just to help you guys be aware of it. So, but if not, if you do that, hey, there's Megan. There we go. There's all of us. And then ta-da.
Can we get an affiliate with Dramamine?
Right. We probably should. But if you go to Glitch and you use the code 2Geeks, you get 10% off. That's if they don't have any deals going on and stuff like that. So, so that's kind of fun. Also, everybody, if you want to check out our website at www.2geeksmike.com, that is our hub for all things Two Geeks, where you can actually check out like what's coming up in the shows. Here's our you can also go to our link to our merch page, which is 2geeksmikemerch.com. We got some fun shirts there.
And I just added a brand new hoodie. It's a pullover hoodie. It's really nice.
Nice. And then also you can support us at kofi.com/2geeks, ko-fi.com. Some people say coffee, some people say Kofi. You can buy us a coffee on Kofi, or is it a coffee on coffee? I don't know. But you can do that, help support us. All that just helps us pay for the stuff to do the podcast is really all that does and stuff like that. So All right. Anything else, Mr. Mike?
Make sure and go buy my book. Make a good Christmas present. The Immortality Code. It is available on Amazon and Kindle. I'm going to start trying to work on the audio version and see if I can get something on Audible. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I'm going to give it a shot and see what happens. Other than that, if you've made it this far, please make sure and go and like and subscribe to us on Facebook and YouTube and Rumble and Twitch and all those places. Facebook, I try to post funny memes or any information about upcoming shows, such as this one, like when we go live. And speaking of going live, we go live every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. You do the math on the rest because I don't like math. And I think that's it. Steven, anything else? Final words, funny anecdotes?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Well,
it's a good movie, everybody. Go enjoy the movie.
Yes,
New Christmas movie.
It was a good Christmas movie. If you have not seen it, I would recommend seeing it. It's a great Christmas movie, in my opinion. So I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, and don't hurt anybody Black Friday shopping or Black Friday weekend shopping or anything like that.
Okie dokie.
All right. So with that said, please do not skip this episode because we are much more better than the rest.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,
May the force be with you.
thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,
May the force be with you.